Hey guys, it's Walt, Safety Hour Firearms here. Today's the day. Today we paint the Bitsa FAL. This thing is going to get painted in the Rhodesian Baby Poop Scheme. You can see that magazine, which is an original magazine, has traces of the original paint left on it. We're not going to paint that magazine because it's original, but we're going to paint everything else here. A little story about this gun. This is actually a Rhodesian kit, or it started as a Rhodesian kit that I purchased in the early 2000s, I think it was. Sat in a box for years. I acquired a receiver from Century Arms one time on sale. I know you're going to say Century Arms, boo, boo, boo. But this thing's together and it runs great. Anyways, parts sat in a box. I was going to originally build a carbine, and I took the original Rhodesian barrel and cut it short. So when it came time to do, plus I had a couple of band rifle barrels which didn't have any threads on the end. So when it came time to do this build, I didn't want a carbine. I wanted a full-length barrel, and I had one in the box, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm looking at the proof marks, and I wasn't sure about it, but my friend Patrick from Chrome Vandium Arms, we did a little swapping and trading, and he offered to barrel the thing and headspace it and everything. I said, sure, go for it. We swapped I swapped the parts kit for him, to him. Actually, if you want to see that, he did it. He's a class 2 now. He got his license and just built a Sten gun. So check out his channel and see his Sten gun run. That thing is awesome. It runs really well. Anyways, Patrick put it together for me at Chrome Vandium Arms. It was shooting, but not shooting reliably, meaning boom, boom, stop. And I was getting light hammer strikes and stuff. And I tried everything with the parts that I had, and I finally even swapping in a DSA lower. Once I put the DSA lower in with the DSA parts, it ran fine. So I came to the conclusion I needed some new fire control parts. So I bought a set from DSA, or DS Arms, and put them in and just tested it yesterday, and it runs great. No problems now. So the Rhodesian kit I bought in early 2000s, that Rhodesian barrel, I still have it that I cut short. Who knows, maybe I'll build a carbine in the future. That was unfortunate that I cut it off, but I did. Back then, those parts kits were dirt cheap. Now they're not so much, the Rhodesian stuff. This stock is not Rhodesian. The stock that came in that kit was in real bad shape. It was busted up. Actually, if I made a mistake, this might be the stock, but the butt pad is not. The butt pad was broken off, and it was nasty looking. Just the original grip, lower, bolt, carrier, a lot of the internal parts. I can see it got a grenade launcher, got that. When it came time, after this thing was barreled, I needed a muzzle brake. Well, I didn't realize that this is actually a L1A1 barrel. That's what I was kind of getting to the barrel story. That's the one I had left. Didn't realize it kind of until I went to get a brake and found out that it had right-hand thread, not left-hand thread. So, short term, from DS Arms, I also ordered, they didn't have any right-hand threaded original style brakes in stock, so I went ahead and bought this, they call it Browning style, and works great. Put it right on, screwed right on, no problem. From what I understand, originally the Rhodesians had L1A1s early on, so it's a distinct possibility that at some point these were used over there also. What I understand most about the Rhodesian guns, they used whatever they had and pieced and parted things together. So this Bitsa will probably fit right in. Handguard here is a reproduction plastic one. I am looking for a correct original one. Probably the one that came with the parts kit was broken up originally, and I probably tossed it, knowing me. But I need one without the slots for the bipod, because the Rhodesian guns didn't have bipods. Even though this Imperial barrel or L1A1 barrels cut for a bipod, they didn't use them. So if anybody's got one of those laying around, they want to do some swapping and trading, I would be interested in it. Also, if you have a right-hand original style grenade launching muzzle brake, might be interested in that too. I kind of like this style though, for some reason. Anyways, so yeah, what we're going to do today is we're going to paint it. We're going to make it, we're going to give it that full Rhodesian deal, paint kit, paint job. And I bought the kit from Arizona Response Systems. And it is definitely, if you watch his videos about painting the FALs, there's definitely enough stuff here to paint 2 guns, 2 plastic bags, 2 sets of brushes, 2 sets of gloves. So who knows? Maybe we'll do a G3 type Rhodesian gun too, because they use those also. So enough jabbering. Let's get to painting. All right, let's get started by taking off these paint can shipping safety things. Pop off with a screwdriver. Well, pretty easy. Let's pop this open. All right. Look at that. Let's mix this up. This is the yellow, or let's say the proper description. This is the oil-based alkaloid enamel baby poop yellow, or bay leaf, as they call it. Let's mix her up. Oh, this stuff is thick. This is some thick stuff. It's pretty cool out today, and I'm down in Central Florida, and today's probably 65 out, 70. I'm in the shade, so not our typical 90-degree weather, or with high humidity's actually probably down a little bit too, I would think. But anyhow, so we're gonna do the paint, and then I'm gonna let it sit and dry overnight, and then we'll do the finish on it in a second, in part 2, because there's no way it would be time enough for it to dry and everything in the meantime today. So even if it was normal summertime, it wouldn't dry that fast. So after watching the Arizona Response video, I kind of have a pretty good idea how I want to paint this thing, or how to paint it. He makes mention of staying away from anything that moves, so you don't plug it up, basically. Staying away from the sight, staying away from the gas adjustment. This area here, you don't want to cake anything up with paint so it won't run, so it'll work correctly. So we're going to give it a shot the best I can. I'm not going to hang it up because I don't really have anywhere to hang it up at. So we're just kind of pick it up and work like this, and then I'll flip it and do the other side. And I'll prop it up with a piece of wood, and then we'll do the green and do the trash bag treatment and all that. If you haven't seen his videos, check it out. It's pretty good. He explains it pretty well. So let's get started. Enough jabbering. Let's make some paint. See how this works. This is going to be interesting. I've never taken a paintbrush and painted a rifle, so this is kind of a new experience. It's not the norm you do for most people painting guns. They would just be horrified at the thought. But kind of like painting a car with a paintbrush. If you know what you're doing, it comes out all right. But if you don't, you will make a major mess. So I don't know, we're going to make a major mess here, or we're going to make a Picasso. I don't know. We're going to find out in a little bit here. I'm just going to keep at it until get it like I think I want it to be. Which shouldn't be too hard to do. I think it's going to come out cool. It'll be different for sure. Having a painted Rhodesian style rifle would be kind of cool. I don't know. No matter what you think about that stuff. We're not going to paint over I'll leave the serial number open. I'm not too much worried about the Century Arms part on it, but I'll leave that kind of open here. What we got to do here? Let's go like this. This top cover, I'll show it to you before I paint on it, has no finish on it, and that's the way I got it. That's the way it must have been all rubbed off back in the day. So this is definitely going to be an improvement on the top cover. Painting your rifle. And we'll flip her over. Yes, I'm going to get some on my hands. That's why gloves are a definite necessity in this job, especially if you're not hanging it up, like if you don't have a place to hang it up at. I don't really have a good place. I mean, I do have some that I could, but the light there is terrible, so it would be would make for a very, very good video. If you guys can see anything. Let's see here. Let's come around like that. Let's go like this. Let's get a little bit more on there. Oh yeah. So yeah, when I bought these kits, these Rhodesian kits back in the day were not expensive because they were pretty beat up. These were not and if it was cheaper, I didn't, you know, if I know myself, if I could save a couple of shekels, I didn't go for the most expensive, highest grade, because I knew I was going to probably parkerize it anyway, so I wasn't too much worried about the high grade or the lack of finish on the gun. So I had access to all that kind of stuff then, so it wasn't a problem as far as refinishing it. Yeah. So I would usually go for the good, or you know, if the price was right, heck, I might even go for the lower end of the spectrum, because like I said, I knew I was just gonna give it a park job anyway, so it didn't really make any difference whether the finish was really good or not. So as far as wear goes, with a military rifle, it's kind of hard to, you know, you can be prissy and get the higher grade one and end up with the same stuff. Some of these places, they grade their guns, grade them a little, they're not too accurate. So when you say very good and you get it and it's like, oh, what the heck did I pay for that for? But anyhow, I'm glad I didn't get rid of these parts, because now they're kind of in, it's one of those things that's kind of in vogue, FAL wise. So I'm glad I hung on to them. Didn't drag them off to the creek or something and sell them. That is Knob Creek, if you guys aren't familiar with it. But yeah, oh, look at that. First coat. So, and I got lots of paint left. You could probably paint 3 or 4 guns with the amount of paint in here, because it doesn't take much to get the job done. So let's stack this up like this for right now. And let's close up this. We'll set it to the side. We're not going to close it up yet. We might need to do some more. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to end up feathering some of the lighter color into the dark color at some point. So now let's break open the dark part of it, which is refined green. Refined green. Let's pop this open. Let's pop this open. Look at that. That's pretty. The second paintbrush. Let's mix this up with the sticks provided. I'm sure there's, oh yeah, that's gonna be pretty. That thing's gonna meet or exceed PAM 2025. Let's see here. So let's do this right here. Oh yeah, that's good. Don't want to waste none of this. The whole paint kit from Arizona Response is reasonably priced if you think about it, with all the stuff you get in the kit. Makes it pretty easy to do the whole thing, because you get what you need. All right, so let's start at the barrel and work our way back. Let's put that into there, kind of like that. we'll go, oh, I can see how this is going to work, yeah. This is going to be good. I'm going to put a little bit down the some on the front sight tower here. There we go. Put that in there like that. And then come across like this. Yeah, the Rhodesians, they didn't have a lot to work with once there was the sanctions and all that, so they made do with what they had and improvised to get through the shortages they had with materials and firearms and stuff like that. So a quick paint job is kind of, you think about it, is kind of a, would we do that here? When I say here, I mean in the U.S., would they just say, hey, you guys, paint your rifles? Or would you have to have a test done and a survey done, and would you have to have environmental studies, and would you have to hire a certain percent of this person and a certain percent of that person to do the painting? If you guys know what I mean. Could you just do that on the fly and get away with it here in the great U.S.? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. You know, they'd have to probably be approved colors and make sure it didn't offend anyone and all that kind of good stuff. So let's pick this up here. Come down here, and just like this. Let's come down here, kind of do this. I scuffed up the plastic parts before we started, so what that means, I just basically took the Scotch-Brite type pad that's included with the kit and just scuffed up the plastic parts to give them a little more adhesion for the paint. At least that was the idea anyways. But they were pretty smooth. So hopefully the paint sticks a little better. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to come out really good. Should maybe do an AR in a Rhodesian thing. I got a couple that are Bitsa guns too that aren't special or anything. That would probably make for an interesting paint job. Let's see here. This one here, I'm crossing this. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Air compressor's going to run a little bit. Never mind that. It won't be very long. So, yeah, so I missed anything. The only thing I've missed is the very front where I'm holding my hand on the end of the brake. I don't know if I need to do that or not, really. Let's see here. Let's put a little bit on top of that. Yeah. Let's see here. Top cover. All right. Okay. So, I've got the yellow color. I got the green, darker green color on. Now it's time to take this and kind of blend some of it. Cross like that. We'll do some of that. Some of this. 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 Flip this over. Over here and kind of a lot of the Rhodesian guns didn't have carry handles, I guess, or most of them. I know folks like the SAS supposedly didn't have carry handles on their L1A ones. I mean, you know, what's so tough, guys? Those guys don't need a carry handle. Come on. But no, anyways. So anyways, you know what time it is? Now it's time. It's time to set this over here. Put that on top of there. Set this here. Set this here. Now it's time to break out the plastic bag. And you're saying, well, why do you need a plastic bag? What do you need a plastic bag for? Well, the concept of the plastic bag is to take it and wrap it around the gun and just squeeze and blend and mix the colors to give them that appearance of, you know, being maybe painted a couple times. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do right now. So, plastic bag, painted gun. We're going to kind of do this routine to it. Walk this up here like that again. Just kind of squeeze and blend and mix and match and this is the system that came up with it. Arizona Response. I guess he tried different things to do the mixing up with the colors, but I guess he found this was one of the best ways. So I'm not going to argue with that. We're just going to do it. So let me do this here. Pick this up again. Set this up. This right here on there. We're going to take this bag and we're going to turn it inside out. If I can find the opening. Maybe we will. No, that's not the opening. This must be the opening. Here's the opening. Well, anyways, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing like we did on the other side. Just kind of mix and match and rub and blend and stop. I think I've done enough. Oh, this I found a spot I missed when I was painting on top cover right here. So let's get a little more. Put a little green on it over here too. Down the floor. I have another plastic bag in case I need it. So I'm just going to do this up here on the muzzle brake. Give it a little. This is not a grenade launcher. We don't have to worry about launching grenades. Let's just do that like that. You know what? I'm leaving well enough alone. I think I've done enough damage for one day. Let's see here. Let's get a little bit on the trigger. Okay. Yeah, I think I've done enough damage for one day. Good enough. Stop. Stop. So, there you go. Now we're going to let it sit and dry. And once it dries, then we'll scuff it. And hopefully we'll get the look I'm looking for. We'll find out soon enough. Hey guys, Walt back here with you on the Rhodesian Baby Poop paint job on the FAL. It dried completely, took almost 2 days to get completely dry, where I felt it's safe to distress it. So we took the old Scotch-Brite type pad and gave it a good rubbing down, basically like you're watching the Arizona Response System video, and just basically go down over the whole thing and knock off the sheen that's left from the paint, distress some of the metal parts, things like that, and voila, she's done. And I think it came out pretty good, actually. You just have to do it to your liking, to where you feel happy with it. And I think I did all right. Everybody that sees it kind of like, they're either like, why'd you do that? Or they're like, oh, that's cool. So anyways, just wanted to show you the end result. And look what you can do if you're really crafty. Look at that baby. Look at that thing. I haven't seen a baby poop high point, but that's for another video. Anyways, yeah, so the FAL is done. Now it's just a matter of actually carrying it around a little bit and actually get some real distressing on it. I got to come up with a front sling swivel and mount and a proper sling, and we'll carry it about into the woods. All right, guys, if you like this kind of thing, like, share, subscribe. FAL Baby Poop Rhodesian Camo. I love it. Oh, hey guys, I forgot something. I have an original. This is original Rhodesian magazine, and look at the colors. Look how they're like spot on. You know, the Arizona Response System. He got it down. Look at that, man. Beautiful. Looks like it's been there the whole time. Look at that green right there, and this right there. Beautiful. Anyways, just wanted to show you that. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, these mags came from Sarco a couple years ago. I know they don't have any more, so at the moment. So I bought them because they popped up and they were relatively inexpensive. I said, sure, what the heck. But anyways, talk to you guys later. See ya.